If you work in agriculture, agricultural engineering, biosystems engineering, research, or academia, then this is for you. The South African Institute of Agricultural Engineers Biennial Symposium 2026 is back. It is scheduled to take place from the 21st to the 23rd of October in Upington, Northern Cape. Under the theme, Driving Agricultural Growth Through Engineering Excellence, the symposium will bring together engineers, researchers, industry professionals, and students to share ideas, showcase innovations, and tackle real-world agricultural challenges. Whether you're presenting research, exploring new technologies, or looking to expand your professional network, this is the place to connect, learn, and collaborate. Abstract submissions and registrations are now open, and if you can't join us in person, you can participate virtually from anywhere. Visit the SAIAE website today to register, submit your abstract, and be part of the future of agricultural engineering. We look forward to seeing you in Upington this October.
Hello, and welcome to the Agricultural Engineering Podcast. This podcast covers all aspects of agricultural engineering. It is produced by the South African Institute of Agricultural Engineers. We encourage you to tune in and explore the exciting world of agricultural engineering with us. My name is Dr. Idaf Miraj, and I'm the host for today. Our guest today is Belinda Boer, who is a specialist in earth dam maintenance and on-farm water conservation. She works closely with farmers across South Africa to identify sources of water loss and implement effective strategies to improve dam efficiency. As a DAMFIX application specialist, Belinda provides practical, hands-on solutions to seal earth dams and enhance water retention, helping producers to maximize their available resources and improve long-term sustainability. Hi, Belinda. Welcome to the South African Institute of Agricultural Engineering podcast. I'm Gidav Miraj, and I'll be the host for today.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, no, it's good to have you, and I'm quite keen to get into the conversation. Maybe before we start, if you can give us a quick intro to who Belinda is, how did you get to this point, and then we can get into the interesting conversations.
I'm Belinda Boer. I'm quite busy within the dam sealing industry. Getting to this point, let's say I've basically been always involved in the agricultural industry. I grew up on a farm. My father was a farmer, and I experienced with him all the good stuff and all the bad stuff that farming can give you. So I've got a really good background with regards to that and the frustration. And I actually saw and experienced his frustration with water, keeping that water. And that was back in the 80s and in the 90s. Now I'm sort of giving my age away, yeah. But that's more or less where I grew up. And in the meantime, a lot has changed with regards to water retention and the technology on how you farm with water. But seeing how he struggled back in those days to farm, to make sure water is widely available all over the farm, that is where the interest has started. So then further on in my life, career-wise, I've always been whether it was something, my larger background is more with regards to marketing. That is where I come from, is a really good and strong marketing background. But then I started to work for somebody who's sealing dams, and got exposed to this polymer way of sealing dams, and that's where everything changed for me. And it's just been an amazing journey. After that, I started my own business because there's really a lack of application specialists with regards to polymer dam sealing business and so on. So I started my own business. So the people who manufacture the DAMFIX products, Kanar Earth Science, they approached me. They saw what we were doing, and they said, listen, we can manufacture this for you right here in South Africa. And then a lot has changed again for me. So we can very proudly say that this dam sealing polymer that we call the DAMFIX range is the only polymer dam sealer manufactured right here in South Africa. So we work very good hand in hand. Our business name is DAMPRO. So from DAMPRO side and from Kanar side, in terms of development, in terms of observations, studies, um, just anything and everything surrounding dam sealing polymer, we've got this awesome working relationship. And I think we have done some very, very interesting and incredible stuff with regards to the dam sealing polymer industry.
No, that's an interesting background, and it sounds like many of us in agriculture, where the lifestyle chooses you. You're always born into it, and then that's where that passion comes in. And you can hear it from the way you speak, like you're really passionate about the industry and what you do. But it's also good to hear that DAMFIX is manufactured right here in South Africa, which is good. It's exactly what we need. Products for South Africa, made in South Africa by South Africans, which, yeah, it's not very often you see things like that. But maybe before we get into the technical details, I'm quite keen to know. So if you had to explain to me what DAMFIX is and just the range of products that you have, because I know behind you you've got DAMFIX wet and dry, but I've also seen that there's other products out there. It'd be good to just get a sense of what the range of products are before we speak about how they actually work.
Yes, so currently there are 3 products. I'm going to start with the DAMFIX wet. It's a very, very fine granular polymer powder. It looks like white sugar almost. So please don't add this to your coffee, because if you are going to add it to your coffee, the moment it becomes wet, it's going to turn into that gel. So that is what DAMFIX wet looks like when it has activated. And basically, all our other dam sealing polymer products works on the same principle. The moment it becomes wet, it hydrates, then it starts to swell. So this polymer powder, it is so easy. We do the application while an earthen dam, a soil-based dam, is filled with water. So if you see clear seepage, for instance, on the other side of your dam wall, you can spread this on the side where the dam water is. On the water, from there it's going to descend. It's going to find itself on the bottom floor of the dam, and it's going to bond with the soil. But with this product, hydrostatic water pressure is extremely important, because it bonds with the soil. And if the water pressure is not there, if it's like shallow dams, you're not going to have the bonding process. So that is extremely important for all these dam sealing products. It requires really good water pressure. And then what we see is there's results where we see within 2 to 3 days, where we've got clients telling us, look, the water is drying up on the other side of the dam wall. But other dams you see within weeks, others in a month or so, because not every single dam is different. You cannot compare any dam with each other. But yeah, it's phenomenal that you can actually seal a dam without the need to drain the water. So that is the main important part of DAMFIX wet. Yeah, it's phenomenal, because with DAMFIX wet, you do not have to drain the dam. Traditionally, you have to drain the dam. You have to bring in all the earth-moving equipment, dozers, TLBs, Bomax, reshaping the dam. There's a lot of work in terms of dam repair. So there are many dams where you actually do not have to do it, where you can just do the DAMFIX wet approach. So that's phenomenal.
Yeah, because you're eliminating that need to stop your operations in the dam, especially if you're irrigating out of it. You don't want to drain your dam. You don't want to have to build a cofferdam to store that water. And then we all know earth moving equipment and moving earth costs a lot of money. So if you can avoid that, it's a no-brainer for farmers.
That's exactly the point a client of ours made in the Marble Hall area. We went to seal his dam about a month ago. It's an irrigation dam, and he's got very, very big operations going on there. He cannot afford downtime on an irrigation dam. And the dam actually seeped right through into his fields where he's planting his crop. And yeah, he called us. We went in, did a really good dosage. And then he actually said within 4 days, he sent us a video and it all completely stopped, all gone. So, and he was able to plant his crop and continue. And his pivot was also moving. Usually it would get stuck there in the field, and no more of that as well. The pivot can freely move in that area.
I think it's exactly the problem that lots of farmers have. It's either your dams seep in or there's lateral movement from your dams going outwards, and that affects your everyday operations. You can't plant,
Yeah.
you can't harvest, you can't irrigate your sense pivot. So if you've got a solution that can sort that out, I think many farmers will be your friend.
Yeah, there's another example that I can use in the Delmas area, was also an irrigation dam, and the maize fields was also right, is positioned right around that dam. And if you go look at the Google Earth historical data, you can see every single year during the rainy season when that irrigation dam is full to capacity, thanks to the rain, the floor can't carry the weight of the water anymore. Then it starts to leak also into the maize field. The client would usually tell us every year harvesting would be a massive problem because they would have been done more or less with the rainy season, but because the dam is leaking into the maize field, it is just completely, the soil is just saturated with water. So basically, harvesting with these big harvesters, they would always get stuck in that specific section. And they started harvesting last week, and I got the phone call for the first time since he's been farming there, which is about 8 years now. He's not getting stuck in that area anymore because the dam has been sealed and the issue has been sorted out.
It's good when you hear the impacts of your work and the positive impact, and you can see the difference that it makes in people's lives, and especially in agriculture. And apart from just the harvesting side of things, it also helps reduce your water losses because it's a precious resource. People are struggling to actually conserve that water. And now if you can reduce the seepage losses, that's a big win as well.
Absolutely, yes. So the other products that we have also is DAMFIX Dry. DAMFIX Dry is a two-part sealing process. So there's a part one, and then there's a part two. So the methodology with regards to this is not all dams you can seal with the DAMFIX wet way. Sometimes you have to reset the dam and do a complete renovation, because remember, each and every dam is different, not one is the same. And also, especially if you've got a brand new dam, set it up perfectly well from the start. We see so many dams that is not being built correctly from the start. There's no proper compaction being done. They don't even install a seal, even bentonite or anything for that matter. Many people are under the impression you just go in and dig a hole and you've got a dam. So we see quite interesting scenarios. But yeah, if we look at DAMFIX Dry, the part one, this is very, very fine. So the reason it looks like this is a polymer clay sealer. If you've got an existing dam where you're applying DAMFIX wet, you already have got like a sediment layer. The polymer bonds quite well with it. It loves it. If you are renovating your dam, or if you've got a brand new dam, there is no sediment, there is no holding capacity yet. You must also think of a dam that has got a settlement period, because every single new dam has got a settlement period, which is about 1 to 2 years. And that's also something that people are, they do not want to acknowledge the fact that the dam has got a settlement period. So what we see with DAMFIX Dry, or let me first explain the application process, because this is not as straightforward as your DAMFIX wet application. DAMFIX Dry, obviously you do it while the dam is empty. You till it into the soil about 150 mil deep. No deeper than that, because you want, the moment this starts to hydrate, you want the polymers to link with each other. That is very, very important. And then after we've tilled it into the soil, we do a proper BOMAG compaction, because you have to compact your dam floor. I cannot stress this enough. Compaction is really, you're setting up your dam for longevity. If you are compacting the dam floor, that is such a crucial part of a dam renovation or a brand new dam. You have to compact. So after we've done the compaction, then the dam is set. You can start to fill it with water. What we've then discovered, if you just do a very mild application of the DAMFIX wet component on the water, then it's like it's locking with the DAMFIX dry part 1 application, and we've seen the dams settle actually within 2 to 6 months. That is how quick it happens. So this one is now specifically for the part 2. This is not DAMFIX wet, by the way. It looks a lot like DAMFIX wet, but this is DAMFIX dry part number 2. So we spread it evenly on the water. It also goes down and it locks with this part that we've worked into the soil. And then this is crucial for settlement. It's like it just activates and the dam is just on a roll. It starts to activate. We've done a dam in Waterfall Country Estate it was like river sand. It was horrible soil that we had to work with there. And that dam has settled within 2 months on the DAMFIX dry application process. That's how quick it was. And I was just completely amazed at the results that I saw there. But it is crucial to assess each and every dam unique to its own. You cannot compare 2 dams to each other. You have to talk to us first. Let's see what we can recommend.
Yeah, so I was actually going to ask you that. So obviously we agricultural engineers and we generally work across many disciplines. So I wanted to find out, like, normally in your team, what sort of team composition do you work with? And generally, is it just you interacting with the farmer, or do you need to get in other specialists as well to work together with you?
Yeah, it all depends on budget. Also, in the end of the day, farmers are really budget stricken at the moment, and they want solutions that is quick, that will get the work flowing on the property as quick as possible. So in dams of 1,000 square meters up to a hectare, we are quite confident on the prescription that we are putting out there. But once a dam is starting to become 1 hectare and bigger, you have to get your engineers in. You have to get all the soil tests in. There's a lot the standard stuff that happens when you build a dam. So yeah, you have to. It's all down to size. It's all down to soil composition. But if it's going to be a larger dam of a hectare and bigger, you will definitely look at maybe increase the dosage, because the mass of water on the dam floor, you need to sit and imagine how heavy water is. People do not think water is heavy, but it's actually on that dam floor. It's crucial that you need to keep track of the type of weight that floor needs to carry. And also, if you're going to have a dam wall constructed there, that thing must be built properly. If you do not build a wall with a key core in it, you're going to have problems. You're going to have piping in a matter of 2 to 3 years. That it's going to happen. So yeah, there is sometimes where the professional guys has to come in, and there's instances where the guys just they put it in themselves. But yeah, have the discussion with us, and let's see how we direct you.
No, that's good to know, because I mean, like you said at the start of the podcast, the hydrostatic pressure is a key driver here, and that's very dynamic. So sometimes you're going to have to call in the experts, but at times you can do it yourself. And just for those dams that are under a hectare, what type of equipment would you generally use to apply either the wet or the dry with 2 parts?
Okay, let's start with the DAMFIX wet, so that we do not confuse people. So DAMFIX wet, just to remind you, it's a polymer that we spread on the water, so the dam still has got water in. No reason to drain the dam. With that, you can, if you're going to do DIY application, you can just get a canoe, and you can attach 2 ropes on either side of the canoe. So you will require like 3 people to do the application. Somebody who sits in the canoe and 2 people to pull the rope either side across the dam. It happens. It's a slow thing, but also very fast. If you're gonna, we can do, but I suppose we are quite practiced now. We just do this on a daily basis. If we do it with a canoe, we can do 5 buckets easily within a half an hour to 45 minutes. That's very quick.
Okay.
So, yeah, it is. You shouldn't move very quick across the water. It's just a slow motion. You use a hand fertilizer spreader. There's a specific one that we like, the Jacto hand spreader. There's many types of hand fertilizer spreaders but we find that the polymer clogs onto, especially the little spinning wheel, the polymer clogs quite quick onto it. So the Jacto one actually, it carries us through to 5-6 buckets until we start to see that it's clogging. So that's the DIY method. You can, and also another thing, regardless of what method you're going to use, which I'm going to explain now, the water must always be quiet. So no windy conditions. Otherwise, the wind is, or the little waves on the dam is going to push the product into a corner. And you do not want that. You want it to lie evenly on the water surface. And over there, it must go down, drop down, and bond with the soil in that specific area.
Okay.
The other way we have also set up a boat for ourselves, a bigger bass boat. We attached a 80 kilogram, also 80 kilogram fertilizer spreader onto it. And that goes very quick. That's part of our service that we provide. So with the fertilizer spreader, we can do 14 buckets within 20 minutes. So that goes quite quick. Then the third method that you can do is you can use a drone. Can you believe it? You can seal a dam with a drone. That's how incredible this is. No TLB, no earth moving equipment, nothing like that. Just a drone by spreading these little granulars. That is absolutely amazing. So for that, we specifically use a drone in dams that has got the hippo, the crocodiles. You do not want to be in a little boat with those animals in the dam. They might just look at you and don't like you. So we stay out of the dams. So the drone is very good. Also, if a dam is bigger and you want the precise GPS like spreading, the drone will give you a perfect, very specific spread. So that's also a pro of the drones, and especially on dams of 5,000 squares and bigger, the drone gives you a really nice application over there. So those are the 3 methods. There's a DIY with a canoe. There's a specifically fitted bass boat with a much bigger fertilizer spreader, and the drone that we do with the DAMFIX wet application.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
If you work in agriculture, agricultural engineering, biosystems engineering, research, or academia, then this is for you. The South African Institute of Agricultural Engineers Biennial Symposium 2026 is back. It is scheduled to take place from the 21st to the 23rd of October in Upington, Northern Cape. Under the theme, Driving Agricultural Growth Through Engineering Excellence, the symposium will bring together engineers, researchers, industry professionals, and students to share ideas, showcase innovations, and tackle real-world agricultural challenges. Whether you're presenting research, exploring new technologies, or looking to expand your professional network, this is the place to connect, learn, and collaborate. Abstract submissions and registrations are now open, and if you can't join us in person, you can participate virtually from anywhere. Visit the SAIAE website today to register, Submit your abstract and be part of the future of agricultural engineering. We look forward to seeing you in Upington this October.
And then I'm assuming with the dry application, it's like you said, you need to dry out the dam, then you have to get in the earth moving equipment, till the product into the soil, and then once for the part two, it's the same three processes again.
Yeah, so it is not as intense. So DAMFIX dry is not as intense as you would do with a bentonite application. Bentonite, you need a lot more product. If we are going to compare DAMFIX dry versus a sodium bentonite application, you would require 3 tons of 3 tons of DAMFIX dry versus about 40 tons of sodium bentonite. So it's quite a difference in product because of the polymer technology stretching the clay content even further.
Yeah.
But yeah, bentonite is a completely different ball game, and there's also all kinds of specifications on per square meter coverage. But that's just to give you an idea. 3 tons of DAMFIX dry versus like 2 interlinks of bentonite. It's insane. It's quite a difference. We use to till the product into the soil, we use a rotavator that gives us the perfect coverage in there. And then obviously you can, for the smaller dams, you can use a walk behind BOMAG. Those you just rent at Talisman or Coastal Hire or any of those places. And if you go bigger, on a dam of like 3,000 squares and bigger, those big ride-on BOMAGs start to becoming very useful.
Okay. No, that's good to know. And at this point, I'm sure our engineering colleagues will probably be itching to hear all the technical details. So I have to ask, in terms of the soil types that DAMFIX is compatible with, is it across the range, or is there certain types of soils that you would recommend where you can actually use DAMFIX and some where you'd propose an alternate solution? And then the second part to that question is on the ecology side of it. When you mentioned the crocodiles and hippos, there's also lots of farm dams that have a wide range of fish species in there. So I wanted to find out, how does DAMFIX play with the ecology of the dam?
Yeah. Okay. So we've seen the polymer work basically on every soil type. There is not. We've worked on very bad soils, very sandy soils, and then we've also worked with very awesome clay-like soils. We've worked on turf-like soils. Even on we've sealed dams with G5 soil in it. So I think it's obvious if you look at the scale of very clay to very sandy. The polymer bonds extremely well with clay-like soils. Another thing that we have discovered just as we went on with it, polymer loves the sediment that has formed on the soil. So it seals extremely well when there's organic matter present on the dam floor. It likes that a lot. So just a big rule, the product will not bond with any stones or rocks. If there is like a rock bed that's involved in the dam floor somewhere, it does not bond with any rocks or stones. Sometimes if there is also like these old dams, farm dams has got a concrete wall built, it will not seal or bond with the concrete. It will only bond with soil. So always keep that also, remember that. So we've got bombing methods. If there is like a concrete wall, I always say just give the product soil to work with. As long as you give it soil, it is going to bond with something. So what we do is usually the DAMFIX wet. While there's water in the dam and they do not want to drain and do all kinds of repairs on that concrete wall, we would do a mixture of DAMFIX wet with soil, and then that soil we dump all along the dam, the concrete dam wall. Then it will stop all that seepage that's going through the wall, underneath the wall, because we get a lot of inquiries with regards to the concrete walls that are leaking and aging, and it's not going well. So there's various methods that we use these polymers. As long as you give it soil, it's going to bond with it. In terms of your question with the fish and the plants and all of that. So we've had the DAMFIX sealers independently tested by WSP. They've been awesome in that whole process, and they found the product to be non-toxic. It is not going to have any negative impact on your eco life. We've done many applications where the fish are present. We've actually seen if the water is nice and clear, we actually see the fish, they are quite nosy. They want to come see and inspect what's going on in their dam. And when you see the polymer is making a blanket, then it's starting to fall like that. So when it's falling, we've seen fish that are playing through the blankets. They're going in and out of the blanket as it's falling. And nothing happens to them. If people are worried that it's going to get stuck in their gills or wherever, it's a gel. And it's interesting to them. That's what I'm summarizing it as. We always follow up with the client. Many times we go back to the dam in the next day or two, and then we don't see anything that has died or obviously there is a factor with DAMFIX wet where dams that are 2,000 squares and smaller, in the first 24 hours there will be a fight for oxygen between the polymer and the fish. So with dams of 2,000 squares and less, we just say you must seal the dam in sections over a week just to bridge that. But other than that, it's non-toxic. It's not bad for your plant life, for your animals, the cattle, the sheep, whatever you farm with, they can come and drink the water. And my team, if you go look on our Facebook of Dam Pro, you will see many videos and photos, and even my own Facebook, Belinda Boer. You will see us on a dam working with the stuff almost every day. And I've been now non-stop consistent myself inhaling this stuff, because when you spread it, there's very fine powder of this that do go up in the air. It falls on your skin. When you start to sweat or anything, it will activate into the gel. Sometimes it comes into my eyes. So if something had to happen with somebody, it had to be me.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here and I'm alive and kicking. So, I don't feel sick. I don't feel there's anything wrong with my lungs. I'm all good. So, the product is definitely, it's eco-friendly, and there won't be any negative effects to your fish or plants or your animals.
Okay. No, that's good to know. And I think just from my side, one last technical question is around the time that you may need between applications of either DAMFIX wet or dry. And then a follow on to that is, does it also work on your dam walls, or is it mainly for the floor of the dam?
The dam walls, and most of our inquiries is with regards to dam walls, especially because there are two things that usually go wrong in a dam wall. You either we see people have not built it correctly, construction was not done correctly. People do not build a key into the wall. And when I ask them, have you built a key into the wall, they are actually asking me, what is a key? So that people are uneducated in terms of the importance of constructing a key into the wall. So that is one of the reasons, main reasons basically, why a dam wall would start to deteriorate, and the integrity of the structure is not gonna go well with that. The other thing we see is people want their dams to look nice. The ones who are using it for aesthetic purposes, on these lifestyle estates, golf courses, the game lodges, they want their dams to look nice, and they want trees situated in and around the dam. And another thing I want to touch on, everybody wants an island in their dam to have that also look nice. And I would say, listen, guys, do not have an island in your dam. That thing is just going to cause problems. Again, an island is not being constructed properly. They do not compact it well, and they plant a tree on the island. So, so if you look at what happens with a tree, there's actually a photo of myself. You can also go and look on my Facebook, where I stand in a dam wall that is broken, and you can see how the tree roots are just hanging there. It has blown my mind of how a tree can take over in a dam wall, and that creates cavities, and the integrity of the dam wall is being completely depleted. So incorrect construction method of a dam wall and tree root systems establishing itself in a dam wall causes it to leak. And if you are not going to give attention to it or even integrate a maintenance plan into your dam, you are going to see a dam wall breaking. So we also see a lot of people, for some reason, building their whatever building it is they want to build. I've actually been last week at one where I was mind blown. They had a full restaurant, shop, and everything just below the dam. So if that dam wall is going to break, the restaurants, everything's going to be gone. So you must really plan. When you've got a dam, you must plan on what you're going to have where. Do not build a building below a dam wall. It's really not a good idea. Because if that dam wall breaks, you're going to sit with a lot of problems. So in terms of DAMFIX wet, we have seen quite. I was astounded by several instances where I thought actually it's not going to work, and the product has done miracles. I've got one of my colleagues, Ryan. He actually says DAMFIX heals the soil and the cavity. So that's when the polymer is being is finding itself on the dam floor, and the hydrostatic pressure is going to push into the dam wall. You're going to see anything that's porous, it's going to bring it together, and that's where you see the leak is stopping.
Oh, that's good to hear. And it's also it's been interesting hearing all of the different case studies and examples that you mentioned throughout the discussion. If the listeners were interested in finding out more information about DAMFIX and DAMPro and the work that you do, where can they find more information and more pictures and stories like this?
Yeah, you are welcome to visit our website, damfix.co.za. And then also a good place to go and have a look is our Facebook and Instagram. You will see there on DAMFIX. Just type in DAMFIX and it will pop up. DAMFIX, and then also you can use my handle, Belinda Boer. There's even more other stuff there because on business like social media, there's business-like posts, and then on mine is a lot more informal stuff, which is sometimes just a fun way of showing how we do things. So yeah, you can, it's damfix.co.za, and check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, I'm sure that the listeners and the SAIAE community will definitely reach out to you in future, because this is something that all agricultural engineers are close to, whether you're a dam specialist or hydrology specialist, or you're interested in agriculture and planting and farming. Water is central to everything. So I'm sure this is going to be an interesting episode for everyone to listen to. And yeah, I'm not sure if there's anything else you'd like to say just before we conclude.
I think people do not always realize the importance of an earthen dam. It is a huge asset on any farm. No farm can function without water. If you look at your crops need water, your animals need water, your whole household, your farm workers, everybody on that farm needs water. And an earthen dam, look, there's many ways to retain water. There's the zinc dams, there's these water bladders, there's these JoJo tanks. There's so many ways that you can. Also, we've got the cement dams that's also functioning, but they also have got a lot of problems. Your first method of water retention, when it rains, where does your water go to first? It goes to your earthen dam. And why lose water through, let's say, for instance, a dam wall that is not functioning properly? There's thousands and thousands of liters that's going lost through dam walls that is not functioning. People are not maintaining it properly. So if I can give any advice with regards to water retention, how to maintain and keep as much water on your farm as possible, and look after those dam walls, get a maintenance plan in place. And a maintenance plan in place can involve something like DAMFIX wet, where you do not have to drain the dam. And most instances, you do not have to start over with your dam. It's simply a matter of applying DAMFIX wets, and it's going to sort out, let's say, root channels, or it's going to sort out um, that area where you experience piping through a dam wall. It's going to buy you an extra couple of years, maybe even 10 years. That's where you do not have to restart or start over with your dam. So get that maintenance plan in place. Go and today, after this, you've watched this now, actually go out and go and walk your dam wall. Go see what's going on there. And if you see any signs of seepage there, you do not want to wait for another year or two, because you do not know how bad that seepage area is. Just get it on a maintenance plan. And that's how strong I feel about it. And then from your dam, then you can start to spread the water to whichever other water retention system you've got going on. But look after that earthen dam.
Yeah, no, that's really good advice for the farmers out there. And just in light of the recent events that we've been having with climate variability and the extreme weather events, droughts, floods, that sort of thing, have you noticed the farmers taking more interest in that, or like more the farmers becoming more conscious in terms of water use and water use efficiency?
Yeah. I've seen immediately with those heavy floods, we've seen early in the year by the Kruger National Park, there by Hoedspruit, all those areas, we got an immense amount of phone calls. With now that I've got all this water, there was many dams that had half the capacity to empty, and all of a sudden those dams was bombarded with mass amount of water. And then it was like these walls was like, but what's happening? I can't believe all this pressure that's happening, and dam walls that was really battling to keep the water. So we've seen a lot of movement with regards to that, and product moving into that area. And then also over the last month, the heavy rains that we've now seen in the Eastern Cape and into the Free State. The same then happened as we experienced in the Hoedspruit area, and the same type of calls. All of a sudden, these dams was bombarded with a mass amount of water. So when you've got the opportunity to retain your water, do it, because it seems now, if we look at the weather predictions, the weather patterns for the upcoming season, the next summer, seems like El Nino is coming back. So right now, with all the good rains we've had, and if you see your dam has got seepage issues, you can actually now retain that water without going into all the work of restarting your dam. So yeah, I am concerned about this next rainy season. Doesn't seem like it's going to be there. So while you've got the chance, keep the water. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I think that's everyone has to be aware of that and be very conscious about the fact that we could be going into a El Nino, and it could be a long one. So yeah, if you've got any leaky dams, I think Belinda is the best person to speak to. And if anyone wants to reach out to you, just to confirm, it's at DAMFIX or at Belinda Boer for all the interesting stories and pictures.
Yes, absolutely. And yeah, all our contact numbers are there. Various agents' numbers are there. My number is there. There's many numbers there. So you somehow you must get sorted with your dam.
We also have a lot of listeners that are still in school. Some are still studying, so students at university. So I wanted to find out if you've got any bits of wisdom or advice to our younger listeners out there.
Always be curious. Always be open to learn. Never stagnate. You have to be interested or find your purpose. I found my purpose when I was 40. So, never ever give up. You will find your way, but you need to explore. You need to try everything, and somewhere something is going to pop up that's going to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do now. So yeah, I think the main rule, especially in my life, never ever give up. You must always search. You will find the answers, and always give your best. Never ever, even if you're going to work for somebody who is really not good for you, still give your best. Because somewhere somebody's going to see you and they're going to take you, and then a lot of other doors are going to open for you. So even if you're in an environment where you feel you are stuck, always give your best.
Yeah, no, that's really good advice. Thanks so much, Belinda. And it's been really great chatting to you. And I really enjoyed this conversation, and I'm sure we'll be in touch in future.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me on your podcast. I appreciate it, and all the best. May you guys also just move forward and go from strength to strength. Thank you. Be well.
Okay, thank you, and hope you have a good day. Thank you for listening to this episode of the SAIAE podcast with us. It was really great speaking to our guest, Belinda Boer, who is a specialist in dam sealing. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our podcast with your friends and colleagues. You can find the SAIAE podcast on YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Thank you, and please look out for our next episode. Goodbye.
If you work in agriculture, agricultural engineering, biosystems engineering, research, or academia, then this is for you. The South African Institute of Agricultural Engineers Biennial Symposium 2026 is back. It is scheduled to take place from the 21st to the 23rd of October in Upington, Northern Cape. Under the theme, Driving Agricultural Growth Through Engineering Excellence, the symposium will bring together engineers, researchers, industry professionals, and students to share ideas, showcase innovations, and tackle real-world agricultural challenges. Whether you're presenting research, exploring new technologies, or looking to expand your professional network, this is the place to connect, learn, and collaborate. Abstract submissions and registrations are now open, and if you can't join us in person, you can participate virtually from anywhere. Visit the SAIAE website today to register, submit your abstract, and be part of the future of agricultural engineering. We look forward to seeing you in Upington this October.